Hello, everyone. Shortly before break, the leader and me did a pretty significant update to their lesson format. And so I wanted to do just a brief walkthrough of those changes for you. First of all, one of the biggest changes that you'll notice is that when you access these, they're no longer PDFs. You're going to be linking directly to the website to access the slide presentations. So in order to do that, you need to make sure that you are able to access the website. So if you have not done that, I want to make sure you know how to do that. So on the homeroom page on the staff website, if you scroll down underneath the lesson overview, you'll see a little part at the bottom that says Leader Me Online Access. If you click next to that, it expands and gives you some steps. There's a link, and then there's a code for the junior high. Again, if you have trouble after following those instructions and trying to get on, just let me know, and then I'll see if I can help you out. All right, well, let's jump into the format. All right, so first of all, besides being linked to the website, they kind of restructured things after getting feedback from educators. So one big point is that they did try to target 15 minutes approximately for the lessons, and they're divided into three main chunks. The first chunk they call Ignite Curiosity, which is essentially like the hook of the lesson where they identify the end in mind or the learning target. The second chunk they call Investigate is the main portion of like the activity where students are going to engage in various things. Could be whole group, partner activities. There's a lot of things, and their goal was to just kind of get more interaction and engagement. And lastly, the last chunk is called Invite Connections, where that portion is where you work with students on connecting what they learned through the activity to the end in mind or learning target that you talked about at the very beginning. So that's kind of like the brief overview of what that structure is going to look like. So let's get into the actual lessons. So once you get into the doc for that day from that lesson map, you will notice that they're called modules with the lesson, and then there's a link for each one. So let's look at the 7th grade one for the 23rd. And you'll again see this linking to the Leader and Me online. So once you click that, it's going to redirect you to the website, and it is taking you directly to the outline of that lesson. All right, so again, you'll see we're on the Leader and Me website. We're on lesson 4 for this module, which is where we've selected through the curriculum map what we'd like to do. So you're just going to go with wherever it takes you. All right, so what you see when you come here, this page is an outline. So it's going to tell you what materials might be needed, and they're typically optional. Like this one in particular, you could print out a lotus diagram that's like pre-made, but that's optional. You could also have students just copy one or create one on their piece of paper, which would be pretty simple. As you scroll down, you'll see each of the slides with some notes for you as the teacher. Also, you'll see there's a time suggestion to kind of keep you to that 15-minute target. All right, scroll back up to the top, and then let's look at a couple of these buttons here. If you can print all these notes, so you can have them separately if you'd like, but that's not the only way that you can have the notes. Once you start the lesson by clicking the big blue button, it's going to open the slide presentation. On this page at the top right, here's another way to print the notes if you'd like to do that, but you do not have to print the notes. They've actually embedded them in here, so I'm going to show you that. When you are ready to present, top right, you can make it full screen, and then you still have access to some of these buttons. So you could print the notes again from the full screen, or at the bottom, you'll see as you navigate through the slides, you'll see a notes button. If you click that, there's a little pop-up with the notes that go with that particular slide, and they're on each one as you advance. And there's your advance or back buttons for each slide. Next, I'm going to show you at the bottom left, if you'd like to know what portion of the lesson you're in, there's a little icon, end in mind, or the learning target. Here, the next part is the main activity, and then you'll notice next to Ignite Curiosity, it's telling you that this is a whole group activity. And I believe it also kind of gives you some notes there on how to do that. There's the lotus diagram for this lesson, and then there's the last slide where you're going to do connections, and then you'll see in this example, it's a partner activity. So that's essentially it. If you want to get back to the main page, you click back or the course button, and it takes a second to go back. You could also hit the back button on your browser if you want. That also works. All right, that's essentially it. So if you have questions on that and how to access that, please let us know. Or if you have trouble accessing the website after following those directions, also let us know. Thanks, everyone.